Hello from the Dukascopy TV studio in Geneva. We are talking about changes in regulation in Switzerland with Mr. Ludo Schockaert. He is director of the International Tax Consult in Nyon, Switzerland. Welcome, Mr. Schockaert.
Thank you.
So we were just talking about changes in the exchange of information with the OECD framework that was regarding to banks. Now we would like to highlight the changes in the Swiss corporate taxation. Could you give us an outline of the reason why the Swiss corporate taxation is going to be changed soon?
Mm-hmm. I can. There's been significant pressure from the European Union in the last number of years on Switzerland to change its special regimes that they applied to certain types of companies within Switzerland. These special regimes have enabled the Swiss to attract a lot of companies to Geneva in the trading business, and some people have installed their international headquarters in Geneva for this reason. But what the European Union normally does not want is special regimes. They have no problem with low tax rates which are applicable to all the companies in an economy. But if you start discriminating between different types of companies, that's something that within Europe has been fought against by the European Commission especially. Given those pressures, Switzerland actually has had to give in to the European pressure and abolish these special regimes. So normally what is going to happen is a new corporate tax reform. It's already been discussed, and it will normally entail the introduction of measures in terms of intellectual property protection. So it's called a license box, which will enable companies setting up in Switzerland to develop intellectual property. The other element, which is more significant in terms of the money aspect and its impact on the Swiss economy, is going to be the fact that the overall corporation tax rates applicable to all companies within the different cantons will be lowered. So Geneva has already announced a rate of 13%. Canton de Vaud has announced 13.79%. Neuchâtel is already applying 15.6%. So normally these rates will come into force in 2020, probably with a gradual lowering of the corporation tax burden from rates of around 23 to 24% in Geneva and Vaud. So in the next 5 years the rates will probably reduce to those lower rates. So we're talking about rates which are designed to keep the companies that have already installed here, that have their headquarters here, so the rate should not be significantly higher than the rate they're already paying. But on the other hand, the rate should be low enough to attract new business, and it should be high enough to give the different cantons sufficient revenue to cover their costs. So the impact on the Swiss economy will probably be quite important, because you're talking about a virtual lowering to half of the corporation tax rates. So the hope is, of course, that Switzerland will be able to attract new business, but the normal Swiss company is going to be paying 13 in the canton of Geneva instead of 24 so far. So that's quite a significant change. There's a lot of toing and froing going on between the Confédération and the individual cantons about who's going to pay for this bill. That's already subject to estimation, but it's very hard to predict where the figures are going to be. So that's one of the difficulties, I guess, that so many external factors can have an impact on this. I would say that the Swiss economy will probably withstand even this pressure as it has done in the past. There's a lot of talk about the franc fort, the strong Swiss francs at the moment. Recently the National Bank has abolished the link of 1.2 against the euro. So now the markets have moved the Swiss francs to 1.04, but in a historical perspective, that's to be compared to a rate of 1.6 or 1.65 around 10 years ago. So there's been a gradual appreciation against the euro of the Swiss franc, and despite that, the Swiss economy has been resilient. I think it's due in a large part to the long-term planning that is typical for the Swiss. One says that it takes 2 years to actually be able to get your foot into the door of a Swiss company, but once you're in there, it's going to be business for years to come. And I think the good thing about the Swiss economy has been that people invariably have not been slamming on the brakes the way it's been done in typically the American economy, where people plan for the next quarter. So that's my view on the impact of the corporate tax.
Thank you very much. And so actually the change and the reform of the corporate tax regime and the lowering of the tax rates will have a substantive impact, as you just mentioned, but it will also have evidently benefits for companies that are in Switzerland and probably are going to come. Actually, what do you expect in terms of new business?
Well, the process of attracting business is something that's been going on for years. So I think the main difference is going to be that over the last few years, there's always been some uncertainty hanging around this process of these lower rates than the ones we're going to be faced with. Now the advantage is going to be that there's actually going to be certainty in the sense that there is going to be a corporate tax rate being applied and is acceptable internationally. So there's let's say that the system is being replaced by a much more solid system, which allows companies who reflect on the possibility to come in. It'll allow them to actually plan much longer, and it's going to have a benefit for the economy in general. Companies paying lower taxes, maybe that's going to be a stimulus to the corporate life, but it's going to lower the revenue of the states.
So Swiss corporate taxation has a significant impact on the Swiss economy, but your overall point of view is positive for Switzerland.
It is.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ludo Schockaert from International Tax Consult in Nyon, Switzerland, for being here today.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching. Do make sure to keep clicking back on the Dukascopy TV website for latest updates and exclusive interviews. Have a great day and see you next time.